नमस्कार। कार्यक्रम में आए हुए सभी बुद्धजनों का मैं स्वागत करता हूं। आज हमारा प्रोग्राम करियर प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स इन आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के ऊपर ऑर्गेनाइज किया गया है, ताकि जो यंग बच्चे जिन्होंने ग्रेजुएशन कर लिया है या ग्रेजुएशन करने वाले हैं, ऐसे लोगों को ये पता लग सके कि आर्म्ड फोर्सेस में क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज इमर्ज हो रही हैं। एंड दिस प्रोग्राम इज बीइंग ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय द प्रोफेसर राजेंद्र सिंह स्मिथ संस्थान। दिस संस्थान is a trust. It was incorporated in 2018 in memory of Professor Rajendra Singh. We call it Rajju Bhaiya also. This is a patriotic activities organization which is doing among youth. This is spreading education for good human being, science popularization among youth, encouraging science research for rural Bharat, and promoting science applications for masses. This is the website of the organization, and this is the email. This is the phone number. Anybody interested can contact. This program is sponsored by Rail EduTech Private Limited. This is the company which is having the object of promoting the courses for employment and upskilling. This company is promoting the railway courses for graduate engineers and diploma engineers, offering big data, cloud computing, and cyber security courses from 1st April 2023, and promoting industry automation courses. This organization is also promoting entrepreneurship programs. This is the website, and this is the email address. Anybody interested can contact on this phone number also. This program is also supported by the Human Unity Movement. This Human Unity Movement is organized. The object of this organization is organize and helping the needy people from all walks of life, protect child and childhood, save environment, help protecting rights of the people, awareness for the legal literacy, counseling for marriage dispute and harassment. This is the email address of the website, the organization. Anybody interested can contact. This is the phone number. Today we have invited Flight Lieutenant Malayan Mukherjee to address this webinar. Mr. Malayan Mukherjee was commissioned officer in Indian Air Force for 10 years. It was in 1985. Then he became CEO AGO Services Private Limited, Singapore. He started this. Then he switched over to CEO Global Commercial Agency. He took as a director for DeFrail Technical Services Private Limited. Mr. Mukherjee has been visiting faculty for Delhi Business School of Business, visiting faculty for IIFT, MSME, FIO, Barkadia Limited trainer. He has worked with Barkadia Limited as trainer of leadership and soft skills. We welcome Mr. Malayan Mukherjee to address this seminar and guide the young professionals what is there in for them in armed forces. As ever, we are also offering the participation certificate to all the participants and a free ebook to all the participants who are participating in this program. This book is written by Commander V.K. Jetli. The name of the book is We Can, We Can. Now I request Malayan Mukherjee to take over. Malayan, now you can share your screen.
Okay, I will share my screen. Thank you so much. And yeah, is it all right? Can you see my screen?
Yes. सर इसको
Okay.
आप उस मोड में कर लीजिए। ये आपकी जो राइट साइड की स्लाइड है वो नहीं दिखनी चाहिए।
अच्छा, वो नहीं दिखनी चाहिए, राइट वाला जो या इसको हम is that all right now?
No, इसको फुल स्क्रीन में खोलिए आप। पहले इसको बंद करके फुल स्क्रीन में खोलिए अपनी स्क्रीन में और फिर स्क्रीन शेयर कीजिए।
अच्छा, एक मिनट, just let us wait. Just 1 minute. फुल स्क्रीन में एक बार आगे आपके अच्छे बताएं। Just 1 minute.
इसको सर पहले आप वो कर दीजिए, स्क्रीन शेयर स्टॉप कर दीजिए।
इसको पहले स्टॉप कर दे। एक मिनट, क्या आई लास्ट टू दैट यार। इसको फुल स्क्रीन, इसको आप क्या कह रहे हैं, इसको फुल स्क्रीन नहीं करें, इसको बंद कर दें। हाँ आ गया।
हाँ, अब now it is okay. Now it is okay. Now it is
Now
okay.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Very slide जो भी की है। अच्छा, okay. Okay, fine. Good evening, everybody. हमारा परिचय आपको ऑलरेडी मिल गया है। मैं भूतपूर्व इंडियन एयरफोर्स का ऑफिसर हूं और ये जो वेबिनार आज का है, हम आपको अवगत कराएंगे। We'll let you know the career prospects in armed forces. In a short, this time is too short for this, but I'll try and include as much as possible in this webinar, right? So we'll start with this first. Let's take this. We'll introduce you to what we are going to talk about it. Now, defense forces, as we say, now defense forces comes under Ministry of Defense of Government of India. What is the basic prime objects of the armed forces? First is guarding the nation. It guards the nation from the external forces. Let's say the enemy countries, one or two surrounding our countries, right? The first and foremost is guarding the nation. We share the border with 6 countries. There are 6 countries that we share the border. So the whole responsibility of the Indian Armed Forces is to safeguard from any external aggression from the aggressors, right? So these 6 countries are, let's say, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, right? So these are the 6 countries that we share borders with. Now we have BSF, ITBP, Assam Rifles and SSB, say Border Security Force or Indo-Tibet, Assam Rifles and Sima Sahasrabal. These are also there in the borders, but this is only to check the infiltration of illegal immigrants from the other countries. They are not to safeguard the integrity of the country. That is Army's job. So these agencies which are, they are also in the border, they are all posted in the border areas, but they are there, so it stops the infiltration of illegal immigrants from this country, right? So whenever we are attacked by enemy countries, the army comes into the play. When we say armed forces, is Indian Army, Indian Navy, and Indian Air Force. So you can see in the map, the whole of coastal area you have seen, that is manned by Indian Navy, that is Indian Navy's job. Army is the border areas, and then Indian Air Force, of course, you strike by air, and then Indian Air Force comes into play. Now, once you join the Indian Armed Forces, you have a very good salary. You have a very good salary, right from, let's say, from the lowest rank, from 15,000, 20,000 to almost 2.53 lakhs per month, this kind of a salary, 2 lakhs, right? That is a salary which is very good now. When I joined Indian Air Force, that was in the 1975, I still remember, my first salary was only 1,000 rupees. That is August 1975. And now today, 11th March 2023, the same starting salary has gone up to almost 50,000 rupees per month. So that is quite good, I'll say, right? Then apart from salary, you also get transport allowance, right? You get free medical, which is very important. See, free medical expenses in a family, for self, for wife, even for your dependent parents. And that is all free. And that's a huge incentive for the youngsters to join the defense forces. The medical is completely free for any surgery, let's say hospitalization, anywhere in the country. Then you have the canteen facilities. Now, canteen, as you know, that all goods, all items are available in canteen, from car to biscuit to oil to anything that you need. And they are all at a subsidized rate. They are all at a subsidized rate because the taxes are not levied for the defense forces. So you have canteens everywhere, all over India, wherever there is an Air Force unit or a naval unit or an army unit, anywhere in the country, you always have a canteen within the station where people can go and buy, but it is only for the defense personnel. This is not to be bought by any civilians, or they are not authorized to buy that actually. Then you have an insurance. You have an insurance, almost about 50 lakhs plus for everyone till such time you are serving. You also get study leave. You want to study in between after 10 years, 15 years of service, you get 2 years study leave. And then you have LTC, leave travel concession. Once a year, you are allowed to go to your hometown and back with the self, family, and dependents. And then after retirement, you get pension, which is quite good now. Like the other day, somebody remarked that the pension is more than my salary last drawn. So this kind of thing. So these are the perquisites. Apart from, I have not mentioned about accommodation, cheap accommodation or good accommodation. Everywhere you go, and then you get accommodation, your electricity, your furniture, all this is provided for by the establishment once you start working for the defense forces. Now, let's start how to get into the armed forces. What is the mode of entry? How do you get in? First is the advertisement. Now, twice a year, May, June, and November, December, generally, there's ad comes out in the newspapers. I have already shown it. I'll show you too later. This is on the right side, as you could see. Now, this online registration was open till 15th March, but only yesterday it was changed to 19th March. Another 4 days have been given so that maximum people can apply for the recruitment process. Once we say Indian Army recruitment, now this kind of an ad, and there is a QR code there. Now, if you go near the QR code, scan it, you get complete information about the whole recruitment process, how to apply, where are the centers. The centers are all over India, actually. Everywhere there's a center. And thousands of people come for this. And there's an elaborate arrangement there by the local army unit. It is generally an army recruitment. Air Force doesn't have a recruitment like this. Navy also doesn't have. It's the army. Because the army is huge. And army recruitment, army manpower requirement is also huge. So these kind of ads, they come. So advertisement through newspapers, that is one. So keep a check. If you're interested, just keep checking. And in the newspaper itself. Then you have the employment news. There also these ads are there. Now, if you are a graduate, or you are appearing to be, or you are in the final year, then you apply through Union Public Service Commission, UPSC. There is a written exam, and once you pass that exam, then you go for an interview, which once you're selected, then you have to go to SSBs. They are known as Services Selection Boards. Now, Services Selection Board, you have 3-4 days affair actually. There you have to interview, we have group discussions, we have written some physical ability. You'll have to be physically very fit in any case. If you go to the defense forces, physical fitness is of paramount interest actually. So SSB is a 4-day thing. In Air Force, we have 5 SSB. One is in Mysuru, one is in Gandhinagar, one is in Dehradun, and one is in Varanasi. I had gone to Varanasi. My SSB for an interview, I had gone to Varanasi. I still remember the number 4 SSB actually. That's in Mysuru, but that was way back. That was 1974 actually. 1974, I gone for this SSB. That is one through SSB. Then next is CDSE, Combined Defense Services Examination. Combined Defense Services Examination. Now, there also you have to apply, appear, pass, and then go to SSB for the interview part of it. And then a merit list comes after the medical. And then if accordingly, as per the vacancies, you were selected, and then you go for training. Similarly, university entry, like you are only passed out and you are BTech engineering. Once you're in the final year, you can still apply directly. And once selected, go for the Service Selection Board. and then as per the merit list. OTA is Officers Training Academy. This is in Gaya. There is one trained here, and there also similar kind of an entry opportunity exists. A small word on Agniveer scheme. You have recently, आपने देखा होगा Agniveer scheme आया है और काफी जोरों से चल रहा है. Actually, अगर 3,000 vacancies are there, then there were 1 lakh people have applied for. Last अभी कुछ दिन पहले हमने I saw it in the newspaper. There are just about 3,000, 4,000 vacancies, and lakhs of people are applying, and it is very popular now. And Agniveer scheme is very interesting. You are only there for 4 years. You are recruited for 4 years in the armed forces, whether it's Army, Air Force, or Navy, and 6 months of training. 6 months of training, and then you are paid salary. I think about almost 11 lakhs per year. Let's say you get, say 10, 12,000 rupees per month, 11 lakhs a year. And on the 4th year, you get another 10 lakhs without tax, and then you go out. You are released from the services. Only 25% of the total Agniveers are given permanent placement in the armed forces. Rest all, you come out, trained, disciplined force, and you get jobs at many, many places. There's no problem. So these are the mode of entry. And lastly is hearsay. Your friends tell you, oh, there is a scheme, the army is taking recruitment. Then also you can apply. Friends tell you, your friends, in the college you go, your family member, somebody is in the different forces. You check with him, he says, yes, yes, the army is taking, our Air Force is taking, there's an ad came out in the paper. So these are various ways of entering into the armed forces, right? If it is clear till now, so advertisements, so keep checking on the newspaper. Hamesha, roj newspaper padhe. I'll always say, advise all youngsters, newspaper jarur padhe. English bhi padhe, Hindi bhi padhe. It's important. Apart from these advertisements, there are news coming, what is happening in the country. Your general awareness has to be very good. You have to know what is happening around you. Not only about the movies, but the sports, even the political circles, even other news of all the states, So you have to be aware. So awareness level have to be very good to join the defense forces for employment use, UPSC, Agniveer. So this is basically the mode of entry. You can just get into the net, just type Indian Army or Indian Air Force and Indian Navy, and you have all the details there. Just visit these websites and see how you can go about it. Detailed information is available on the website. So this is one newspaper ad on Air Force actually. Disha is the one which is handled by Indian Air Force, named Disha. It is next to Air Headquarters here in Delhi. And they take out this kind of an ad. So you will find the entry for branches. We'll talk about the branches little later. And we have for flying branch and all this administrative logistics. So all these details are there. You scan this and then you get into the Air Force careers. What are the careers? How to go about it? How to apply? How do they take the exams? What is the medical? And then all your prospects, what your salary, everything, every detail is there here in this section, right? So these are the two ads I'm showing you. These have come out in the newspapers only. So keep checking on the newspapers. You will get to see these ads. Okay. Now let's say, just to give you an idea, career advancement, when you say that, I've only spoken about Indian Air Force, not Army and Navy, but similarly for Army and Navy. So if you know what is in Indian Air Force, similar for Army and Navy. The first rank in Indian Air Force, if you join below officer rank, that is airman. Now there are about 7, 8 ranks there. You go right up to master warrant officer or something, but that is airman. But if you join as an officer, in the Air Force, after training, your first rank is flying officer. So you will say flying officer such and such, right? Then you have flight lieutenant, next promotion, that is after a few years, squadron leader after 10 years, wing commander after 12 years, 14 years, 15 years, group captain, air commodore, air vice marshal, air chief marshal. That is the chief of the air staff. See, the number one who heads Indian Air Force is the chief of the air staff. And his rank is air chief marshal. It's only after 30 years of service, more than 30 years plus, that you become air chief marshal. If you have seen the Republic Day parade on 26th January at the Rajpath, you will find all the three services, the chief of army staff, the chief of air staff, and the chief of naval staff. All three are standing next to Prime Minister Modi. You will find going and, receiving and saluting Yavan Jyoti and all that, So air chief marshal. But we have one more rank after that, Marshal of the Year. That is very few. We have just given one Marshal of the Year rank to Air Marshal Arjun Singh. If you have heard about him, he died at the age of almost 100, just about a week, 2 years back, actually, I think. Marshal, he was a Marshal of the Year. He was a Marshal of the Year. That rank is given in recognition of his service to the nation. So this is what is the rank structure in Air Force. Army also second lieutenant, lieutenant, major, colonel, lieutenant colonel, general, major general, right? Lieutenant general and chief of the and general, that is. Similarly for Navy also, let's say sub-lieutenant, lieutenant, commodore, right? So this is what, and chief of naval staff, right? Admiral. So this rank structure is more or less the same for all three services. And on the right side, you see, these are the badges that is worn on the shoulder. So by these badges, you can recognize who's what, which rank, how senior or how junior he is. So this is what is the rank structure, right? Okay. Now, let's get into the training institutes. See, any layman right from the college, once you pass the exam, you can't get into straight away to the Army, Air Force and Navy. There you have to be trained. You have to be trained to suit the requirement of the armed forces. This training is very special training and it's a very good training. It is a very good training. I still say I took this training way back, 1974 to 75. 365 days, 52 weeks of training. But it's an all-round training. It's a very good training. I say once you join, then you know, once after completion of the training, you know that how good. It changes completely, is a new personality after the training. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting because you have all kinds of facilities there in that. Let us start with NDA. Now, what is NDA? It is National Defense Academy. This is based in Khadaghwasla, Pune. Now, after class 12, 10 plus 2, after 12, you apply through UPSC, and then once you pass that exam, there's a written exam actually, you get into National Defense Academy for a 3 years course. And this 3 years course is from sports to other subjects. This training is all round, absolutely physical, and so this 3 very compact, and it's a very good academy. Its accommodation is fantastic, food is very good, you have playground, you have swimming, you have horse riding, and it's full of adventure training also. This interest of adventure comes once you do this kind of a training, and it's a very hard training, but it's very enjoyable and very interesting, I say. And after 3 years, then you decide there that whether you want to go to Army, whether you want to go to Air Force, or you want to go to Navy. If you want to go to Army after NDA, then you go to Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, IMA. Straightway from there, you are sent to IMA, Indian Military Academy, and there is a 1 year training there, Indian Military Academy. Once you pass out from there, then you become an officer in the Indian Army. That's in Dehradun. This passing out thing is known as passing out parade, POP in short, as we say. But this passing out parade, every cadet looks forward to once they join NDA. Okay, 3 years plus 1 year. So after 4 years, I'll become an officer of the Indian Army. That is what they look forward to. And This training, the more on the training, you get into the Indian Military Academy, you ask any army officer, if you happen to meet with him, he will tell you how interesting this training is. Similarly, for Air Force, it is Air Force Academy, Hyderabad. The place is called Dindigul. It's about 40 kilometers from the city of Hyderabad, Air Force Academy. So those after NDA who opt for Indian Air Force, they go to Air Force Academy, Hyderabad. Now, my course, I passed out in 1975, and ours was the first course to pass out from Air Force Academy. That's something unique of our course. And that is July 1975, we passed out. That is from the Air Force Academy. Now, Air Force Academy trains all Indian Air Force officers there. 1 year training, and from there, once you pass out, you become an officer, and you are given a rank of flying officer, and then posted to different units all over the country. And the units are all over. We'll talk about units a little later, but there are units all over, some in the north, some in the south, some in the center to start with, some right. Northeast, there is one, Dibrugarh, there is a unit, Jorhat is there, Tejpur is there. Then on this side, you have Jammu, Srinagar is there. Excuse me. So then you have this OTA, Officers Training Academy. Yeah. This is also same thing. You have 3 years course there, and then you pass out. This is for technical officers actually. And then you pass out, and then you become an officer. NDC, I have mentioned here, National Defence College, but this is only for senior level. Once you become an officer, then after some time you are sent to this course in order to prepare you for senior positions in the armed forces. Then for Navy, it is Indian Naval Academy, Ezimala, that's in Kerala. Now there, after NDA, so after 3 years of NDA, you opt for Army, you go to IMA Dehradun. You opt for Air Force, you go to Air Force Academy, Hyderabad. And you opt for Navy, you go to Indian Naval Academy in Azimala. There's a photograph down below of the lady officers. And nowadays, women officers are allowed to join, and they are joining in very good number. Army, they have joined. Air Force, we have actually fighter pilots. Air Force, we have fighter pilots, women pilots who are flying fighter jets. And, recently one officer, she went to Tokyo with the Indian Air Force team for an exercise, the Japanese Air Force there. And even recently, Turkey evacuation, you will find women officers accompanying the rescue team and then going and helping. So they are coming in good number, and they're doing a very good job. So women are also encouraged to join the NDA or the armed forces, I will say, whether it is Army and Air Force and Navy, all of them are now open to women. Young girls actually, after completion of graduation, they should see this an opportunity and they should join defense forces, I will say. And sky is the limit. The opportunities are there, good accommodation, good working condition, right? Promotional avenue is very good. Salary is also very good. There's so much of perks actually, You get 60 days annual leave and 20 days of casual leave. No other, you go to any corporate, anywhere you work, whether it is Mumbai or Delhi or Hyderabad, any corporate, anywhere actually. Why corporate any? They won't give you more than 10-15 days salary in a year, leave in a year. Not more than 10 days, 15 days, right? They are very choosy about giving leave. But here it is mandatory, 60 days annual leave. You work for 10 months and then take 2 months leave with pay. Go to your hometown or go anywhere, come back. Apart from that, there's a 20 days of casual leave. Leave aside the medical part of it, actually. The medical leave is also there, in case of an emergency and all that. So medical leave is also there. But this is what. So I'll request all girls and boys who are looking for a job elsewhere should see this armed forces as a right opportunity, and they should visit the websites, or as I said, how to check on this and apply for this job straight away, actually. If you have any doubt anytime, you can always get in touch with me. I'll give you the leads. But these are the training institutes which are very held in very high esteem. Everybody knows about NDA, IMA, and AFA and all that, right? Everybody knows. And they're very good trainers. They're very good trainee officers, I know. Very good trainers. At least one thing, you have to be punctual, you have to be disciplined, you have to be physically very fit to join the, and of course you have to be patriotic, there's no doubt about it. देशभक्त तो होना ही है फौज में join करने के लिए. Apart from that, and your interest should be there also. Your interest should be there to serve the nation, right? Just a photograph of Air Force Academy. This is where I passed out, and this is what is the present now. This is a very recent photograph actually. This is the Air Force Academy main building. And this is of the passing out parade, and guests are sitting there, and we have fly past. You have fly past by the aircraft when you are passing out, and you march inside the building, and with your shoulder the rank there from cadet to flying officer, and you start getting saluted by airmen once you walk into the building. So this is a grand function, very grand function, and this is the first day of your becoming an officer of the armed forces of the Air Force. And from there you get your first salary also on the spot, and then you are posted to different units. My first posting was in Devlali, if you happen to know. That was in Nasik, right? So from Hyderabad, I went to my hometown. We were given 15 days leave after the training. And then from there, I went to my first unit, right? And I went to the first unit. We'll tell you a little bit about how it started all a little later. So this is the Air Force Academy. This is in Hyderabad, about 40 kilometers from Hyderabad city. Dindugul is the city name, right? Now, this is the Indian Military Academy. That's in Dehradun. This is also the passing out parade, or one of the parades actually. The building that you see, this is very old. This is all British era building, and this training is fantastic. You know, once you enter this building itself, it gives you so much of hope and aspiration that yes, this is where I'm there to serve the nation. And after training, you really become smart and you become an officer of the Indian Army, and then you are posted to different, some to the front, some to eastern sector, some to the southern. So, as per the vacancy. So this is the Indian Military Academy, right? Educational qualification for joining armed forces is not so difficult. It is after 10+2, you can join the NDA, and you write an exam, even UPSC also, and then go to the Service Selection Board. Graduation, of course, you're shortened. You don't have to go to NDA. Then after graduation, you apply, and then apply for the Combined Defense Services Examination. Once you pass, then SSB, Service Selection Board, is the interviewing authority. So after that, the merit list is prepared. So graduation, law, there are opportunity for law graduates there, because there's a legal branch in Army, Air Force, and Navy. There are court martials. If you are caught in any act of indiscipline or something, then the officers there who are trained in law, or the law graduates, they fight your case. So there's a court martial is there in Army, Air Force, and Navy. So for law aspirant also, there's an opportunity to join. Masters, of course, yes. MBBS, yes. Medical plays a very important role there, because there are battle casualties at the time of war. So a lot of doctors are required, and even dentists are required. So MBBS doctors are in great demand, and you can join straight away after MBBS also. There's a short training there, and then you get into the armed forces. There is one AFMC, Air Force Armed Forces Medical College that's in Pune. So they train by MBBS, and after that you can join the defense forces. So these are the personal attributes you have, right? You have to be physically fit. That is the first thing. Physically fit. Now, you should be able to hear properly, you should be able to see properly, and you should be able to run, do exercises, and you have to be mentally sound, of course. If you join the defense forces, you have to be mentally sound. You have to be brave. You have to be courageous. You have to be disciplined, patriot, Deshbhakt, of course. Then willingness to learn is very important. I give a lot of emphasis on this everywhere because many things will be new there, right? So your willingness to learn is everywhere. You have to say, ye kya hai, wo kya, ye kaise hua. So ask yourself why and how this, So willingness to learn is you increase your efficiency also. So willingness to learn is very important. Helpful attitude. Always have this attitude in mind. Somebody is asking for help, must step ahead, step forward, and go out of the way to help him. These are the attributes of a defense personnel. So you always helpful attitude will serve you good. And seva, of course, when we talk about seva, it is, see, when there is a war and there's an attack by enemy countries, the armed forces was. But every day there is no war, right? The last war we had in 99, Kargil. Before that was in 71, right? 1965, we had war. 61, we had World War. But not that every year we have. But what do they do at that time? Are they not called for any other work? Yes. When there's a Bhuj earthquake, you remember? 2001, 2002, 2001. Bhuj earthquake. Now, it was impossible for the local people or the local administration to help people there. So army was called in. Army was called in. I remember, because how I remember is I was there as a relief operator. I was called by one of the NGOs I was attached with at that time. And they said, yes, you are retired Indian Air Force officer. So we need a lot of people in Bhuj to do the relief work. So I went there for almost 10 days and I found army jawans all over, army officers. So I used to take about 10, 15 jawans every day morning and go out in the villages, Bhuj, in and around Bhuj, and make tents and pitch tents for them and, give them food and all that. So all this relief work I did for. So army was very helpful and army was very disciplined and efficient. They were hardworking, So all this when there's a flood, you see these floods happening on and off. Whether northeast, Bihar it happens, and northeast it happens in Bangalore also. It happened in Kerala also. It is happening everywhere. Last year we had a lot of flood. And everywhere you will find the army coming to the rescue. Bridges are broken down. Bridges are broken, swept away, right? So the engineers come from the army. They build a temporary bridge there and all that. Food arrangement, they make tents, they pitch. The medical doctors, they come. So in peacetime, Army, Air Force, and Navy also required. They are of great help to the local population. Now, just to give you an idea, that army, what kind of work is there in the army? Just to get an idea, a little bit, It is not that everybody is fighting there, yes. When you say artillery, now there are about 10, 11 I have listed down here. Artillery is the ones who the guns, and at the border, they handle the guns and the cannons, let's say. So that is the artillery. Now this training is different. Now once you pass out from IMA, now this artillery training is given. Artillery center is in Nasik. There's artillery center in Nasik, I know, because when I was in Devlali, Nasik, artillery center was shot off. So there is a specialized training for the army officers who want to get into artillery. Gun se ladai karenge, banduk se. Okay? Uska special training hai because there's the latest weapons, equipments are there these days. So you have to know 100% how to operate them at the border. So that's artillery. Then you have air defense. You have heard about this anti-aircraft guns. Now you have enemy aircrafts flying, right? So we have this anti-aircraft gun on the ground, and then it shoots down the enemy aircraft. That is air defense. This is also special training. Another special training is done for air defense people. Aviation Corps, Army has a set of, there are aircrafts for rescue and for other things. So this is an aviation corps. The aviation corps is handled. There are pilots who are in army uniform and they operate the aviation corps. Rescue is one of the main things, during battle casualties you have, and when there's an emergency, somebody is sick or injured very badly, these aviation corps guiders, they pick up a chopper, they go land, pick him up and bring him to the nearest military hospital. So this is aviation corps, another specialized thing. You have Corps of Engineers. Very important. Engineers required everywhere in army. Actually, there is so much engineering job to be done. As I said that, broken pool or something, or electricity has gone off, or, so there is engineering, Corps of Engineers, again, a specialized bunch of engineers who take part. Corps of Signal. It's all signals, information coming, receiving, So there is again a set of officers who handle the signals in the army. Infantry, ladai karte, chalke, right? Marching soldiers, as we call it, that's the infantry. पहले तो बंदूकें जाएंगी, फिर cannons and infantry पीछे रहता है. They are just behind the guns and all that, and then the infantry marches on, and so they fight the enemy. Medical corps, as I said, yes. Medical corps, doctors are required for Army, Air Force and Navy, everywhere actually. Dental corps, as I said, yes. These are all immediate help required, So it is so equipped, the whole thing is so planned, and any operation, that in case of an emergency, you get the fastest possible help. Whether it is mental or dental or, engineering help you need, or need a helicopter or aviation corps, you get everything. The support is given from every department. Then you have this ordnance, this logistic support, let's say ordnance, as I said, ordnance factories are there. The uniform, the blankets, the food items, the fresh food, the dry fruits, the ration as such, So it's the ordnance supports this with this. If you have kitchen everywhere, you're fighting a war. You have to have a kitchen for 1,000, 2,000 people getting cooked. And at far off places, let's say in the very, very hilly terrain, where the temperature is almost, let's say, -10 degrees or -20 degrees also, there are certain points there, So this ordnance job is to supply ration items and clothing items also, whenever there's a need be. So every unit, we have this ordnance who supplies this to the army as per their requirement. You have this education department also. Continuous training is required on education. So you have lecturettes, you have seminars, you have new techniques being discussed, and then you discuss with your foreign countries, of the armed forces of the foreign countries. They come in, and then there are joint exercises. It happens in the army, even in the air force. It happens navy also. So joint operation. This increases your skill level, and as you become senior in the defense forces, all this helps you to grow much wiser and stronger in your attitude and approach. There's one more, Army Postal Service, as you know it, care of APO. Actually, we'll talk about care of 99 APO. Little bit of this care of 99 APO. Now, there are certain units which are hush-hush. It's not told to everyone, right? Because they are sensitive units, and the location of that unit, whosoever is there, is not told to everyone. But aajkal to net hai, everywhere net, but even earlier also, and now also I think it's 99 APO. So what they do is, these offices, there's one central here in Delhi, is care of 99 APO. So you write your name, you say Major Ashok Kumar, and then you write just some number of your unit there, let's say 25 ED, and then you said care of 99 APO, and that's it. no city name, no state name, no pin code, nothing, right? So this letter, wherever you are, you dropped and it will come to Delhi. There is the office here. And there they will segregate. And then they know where this 25, number 25 is there located. Then they will put it in a separate bag and then it will reach there. It takes a bit of time. So this is what is the job, just to keep the location secret from basic people. Excuse me, I just have some water. Okay, so this is that. Then let's say, so we'll talk about the branches of Air Force, where all you can join. Flying, as I said, yes, you can. NDA, through NDA, after NDA, 1 year flying, 1.5 years actually, flying in Air Force Academy. Then you are sent to various other units. You're a fighter, you can be a fighter pilot. You can be a transport pilot, right? So once you're transport pilots, there are bigger aircraft, there are helicopters. So all this training is there. So far as the flying is concerned. If you are opting for administrative job, there's a lot of administrative job in Air Force, administrative officer, chief administrative officer, the adjutant, right? And each unit, every unit, there's an administrative officer there. So you get into administrative branch. These are all graduate. After graduation, you can join. Just after graduation and after MA, I think after masters, you can join this. Go to the Air Force, Indian Air Force, your career website, and you see the requirement. They all are at a young age, and once you're selected, Air Force Academy gives you training on how to handle the administrative job. Similarly for logistics, logistics is very important. You know, every unit has a logistic department, and they're known as logistics officer, and the senior most is known as SLO, as we used to call it, senior logistics officer. He handles all the logistics requirement of the unit and of the men, of course, the men. So all the material, the dress, the food, everything, so logistics handled by them. Accounts handle the pay and allowances. The entire pay and allowances of a unit is, now if you are a BCom, if you are a BCom or a MCom graduate, after graduation, and I think these days it is MCom, get about 60% or 50% of this, just apply and you get into the accounts branch of the Indian Air Force. This is the accounting job basically, you know, and you are posted all over India, that's all right, that is okay. The tenure is 2-3 years, but this is a very good job, a very interesting job, I will say. And so you should try. Those who are just about to pass out or thinking of joining, so you should try this flying administrative logistic. These are known as ground duty branches. These are all known as ground duty branches, administrative logistics account. We have education also. There's the education department also in Air Force. Then you have a med department, meteorology department. See, at the beginning, every day morning, once in a flying unit, let's say in a flying station, there is a met briefing, meteorology briefing, the met briefing by the officer of that branch who has studied how the weather conditions are. At 7:30, he will say that by 11 o'clock, clouds will clear, or there's heavy cloud and there's going to rain or thunderstorm. Accordingly, the aircrafts will fly. So Met briefing is very important in a flying station, and the Met officers they also form the part of ground duty branch actually. So there's generally 1 or 2 Met officers in a unit. So here also you can join as an officer, and of course medical, as I said, medical is there for everyone. So as a medical officer also you can join Air Force. But this Air Force, well, I was in Air Force, I know that. So all these flying, administrative, logistics, accounts, education, meteorology, medical are very interesting, and you should just apply and you should join, do a 1-year course in Air Force Academy and other places, and you get into, and there are beautiful stations, I know, that is south, We have so many Bangalore, we have Bombay, we have Pune, Nasik, and all these units are little away. It is not within the city, except one or two. It is all about 20, 25 or 30 kilometers away from the city. Has a huge area and it's very safe. We have a main guard room. And once you get inside main guard room, you have every facility. You have a cinema hall, you have a shopping complex, you have your office, you have your accommodation, and particularly your officer's mess, which is a sort of club kind of a thing. There you have tennis court, you have badminton court, you have facility for playing cricket, whatnot. I mean, you have everything there actually. There within the area, within the unit area actually. And and the evening, once you play, there's a playground there, and after you come back and freshen up and go to the mess, your food is there. You have your food there. If you're a bachelor officer, if you're a married officer, you get your accommodation, married accommodation, and of course, then you can live in a good bungalow and lawn and all that. So all this makes very attractive the armed forces life, I'd say, right? Okay. Navy also similar thing, executive, engineering branch, electrical and education, medical. Executive branch handles everything. Let's say that's the technical branch also. And, so executive is the main branch in the Navy where you go onto the ship and, you sail, and then from there you go to the submarines or other things are there, engineering, electrical, medical. So these are in a nutshell. Okay. So now let's say this is what happens once you retire from the armed forces. What do? You retired after 20 years of service, then you get pension. After 20 years only you can get pension. So after 20 years, yes, or full after 30 years or 35 years of service, you retire. You are still young. You're only 58 or 60. These days, the lifespan has also increased, right? So 60 is nothing. You are fully fit and you can still work for another 10, 15 years. So there is a lot of employment opportunity after retirement these days. The corporates take you because you are trained. You are already trained. You are experienced and you are disciplined. So it's very easy for them to train somebody, a new afresh. It's better to take a retired defense officer. And retired defense, once you say, automatically it comes, oh, all right, we'll bank on him, no problem. So straight away, eyes go on a retired defense officer's biodata. So after retirement, you can get into training also. Banks, of course, they take you as an advisor, or security of big plants and big companies, and yes, and consultant as a consultant, right? So these are the three last: Career, IF, Nick, Indian, or Indian Army, Indian Navy. These are the three websites. Just type Indian Army or type Indian Navy or type Indian Air Force. You get into whatever I have told you now. This is all in a larger, more information you can get, and you must go and visit these websites. Must visit this website and get more information and start planning when and how to apply for armed forces job. Okay, so that is that. I'll say Jai Hind, and this is in a short. We have discussed about your opportunities in the defense forces, and I will appreciate that you take your time out, visit the website, visit nearest army units, or if you happen to know somebody from the defense forces, go and talk to them. And for any other query, you can always get in touch with me. This is my email and my phone number. But it's best to visit a website and start planning your opportunity. Right? Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much, Mr. Mukherjee. Thank you so much. You have explained it in very, very detail. Okay, and I think it has been a very, very interesting session. Okay. So now the session is open for the question answer. Yes. If anybody has some doubts or anything want to know, or you want to know something more, you can open your mic and please ask the question. We have 20 minutes for the next question answer session. Anybody who want to ask anything more, you are welcome to ask.
पूछिए पूछिए, anybody can ask me anything. Don't feel shy, just ask me anything.
हाय सर, गुड इवनिंग। साहिल
good
जायसवाल
evening.
भैया।
Yeah, tell me.
सर मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि जो स्किल बेस्ड कोई पर्सन है जिसको
हाँ।
जैसे मान के चलो डॉक्टर हो गया या फिर
हाँ।
इंजीनियर है, फिर कोई
हाँ।
हैकर जो भी टेक्नोलॉजी में जिसका काफी ज्यादा है, जो हैकर टाइप में होते हैं ताकि आर्मी को हेल्प कर सके, वो
हाँ।
कैसे आर्मी ज्वाइन करते हैं या फिर
Same.
उनका क्या प्रोसेस होता है?
सेम मैंने जैसे आपको बोला, या तो आप एक कंबाइंड डिफेंस सर्विसेज एग्जाम होता है, उसमें जाइए। अगर आपका टेक्निकल ब्रांच है, तो आप सीधे अप्लाई कीजिए, आप स्टेट में अप्लाई कीजिए, आपको उसके बाद 6 मंथ या 1 ईयर का ट्रेनिंग होता है, देन यू आर इनटू द आर्मी।
ओके।
हाँ, आप लोग ये वेबसाइट मस्ट विजिट कीजिए। वेबसाइट गिव्स द ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन जो है ना, वेबसाइट, और उसमें ईमेल आईडी भी होगा, उसमें आप देखिएगा, और वहां पे आपको सब ऑल डाउट्स विल बी क्लियर्ड इन दैट एक्चुअली, बट यू कैन जस्ट अप्लाई। टेक्निकल ब्रांच है, इसका मतलब आपका ग्रेजुएशन हो गया है। हाँ, तो उसके बाद तो आपको तो इंडिया नहीं जाना पड़ेगा ना, 3 साल का ट्रेनिंग तो नहीं करना पड़ेगा। करेक्ट। एनडीए इज ओनली फॉर 10+2। उसके बाद वो 3 साल का जो वहाँ ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, जैसे ग्रेजुएशन को, दैट डिग्री इज गिवन बाय जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी और समथिंग, इसलिए उनको कहते हैं, उसके बाद जाते हैं। बट अगर टेक्निकल आपने इंजीनियरिंग पास किया है, तो फिर आपको तो उसकी जरूरत नहीं है। यू जस्ट नीड टू पास द कंबाइंड डिफेंस एग्जाम है, और टेक्निकल है तो आपको जस्ट अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, एसएसबी इंटरव्यू होगा आपका एक, एंड दैट्स ऑल, यू कैन गेट इन।
और सर आर्मी में जो प्रमोशन होते हैं,
हाँ,
जैसे कैप्टन थे, लेफ्टिनेंट बने, जनरल हुए, तो ये किस वर्टिकल्स पे उनका प्रमोशन होता है?
कुछ तो फिक्स टाइम स्केल है, जैसे शुरू में 7-8 साल तक, पहले आप हो गए कैप्टन, फिर मेजर, फिर लेफ्टिनेंट, उसके बाद से सिलेक्शन होता है। आपका रिपोर्ट कैसा है, आप कैसा काम करते हैं, उसके ऊपर आपके सीनियर्स जो आपके बारे लिखते हैं, विच इज नोन एनुअल कॉन्फिडेंशियल रिपोर्ट, आप जैसे काम करेंगे उसके ऊपर प्रमोशन होता है। तो उसके बाद 15 ईयर्स 20 ईयर्स में थे लोग एक्चुअली कर्नल बन जाते हैं आजकल। उसके पहले भी कर्नल, आजकल तो अच्छा हो गया, हमारे टाइम में तो बहुत स्लो था, अभी तो फास्ट प्रमोशन हो रहा है, वैकेंसीज आ रहे हैं, और उसके बाद मेरे ख्याल से आप चीफ ऑफ द आर्मी स्टाफ बन जाएंगे। अभी हमारे मनोज पांडे है, जनरल पांडे इज द आर्मी चीफ, ही इज एन इंजीनियर, आई बिलीव ही इज एन इंजीनियर ब्रांच के है, इज नॉट फ्रॉम आर्टिलरी और फ्रॉम इन्फेंट्री। तो ये तो आजकल हो रहा है, और अपॉर्चुनिटीज आर गुड। यस
सर, थैंक यू।
और बताइए। थैंक यू।
और कोई क्वेश्चन, किसी तरीके का कोई डाउट, कोई चीज जानना चाहते हैं आर्मी के बारे में, प्लीज आस्क।
पूछिए, नो प्रॉब्लम, जस्ट डोंट हेजिटेट, जस्ट आस्क मी। या पूछिए एनीथिंग, जो भी माइंड में कुछ भी डाउट हो, व्हाटएवर इट इज, जस्ट आस्क मी, आई एम हियर टू, आपका डाउट क्लियर करेंगे हम। बताइए।
ऋषिराज।
हेलो सर।
हाँ, बताइए
सर, हम अग्निवीर में आर्मी में अगर ज्वाइन हुए, तो उसके बाद जब 4 साल तक जॉब हो जाएगा, तो उसके बाद क्या हम लोग आता रह सकते हैं? तैते हम लोग ट्रेन लेती, जो 25% जो उनका ये है, जो 25% से ही रख सकते हैं, उनमें तैते तरेगा कुछ रेंज निकालेंगे या कुछ ट्रेनिंग करवाएंगे, ऐसा कुछ हो सकता है ना? इसके बारे में बताइए।
देखिए, 4 साल आपने जो अग्निवीर में आप रहे, ठीक है, 4 साल आप रहेंगे, और उसके बाद 4 साल के बाद आपको करीब अप्रोक्सीमेटली आपको कुछ पैसे हाथ में आएंगे, 10 लाख, 12 लाख, 15 लाख आफ्टर 4 ईयर। हर साल तो 10 लाख करके आपको मिलेगा ही। आप 17 साल की उम्र में आप अग्निवीर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, मेरे ख्याल से 17 से 21 ऐसा कुछ एज है, राइट?
बिल्कुल।
17 से 21 तक आपका एज है, तो 4 साल आप तो कोई, अभी मुझे यहाँ लड़के मिलते हैं दिल्ली में, वो तो 25-26 साल तो ऐसे ही घूमते रहे, कुछ करते भी नहीं है। तो ये तो 17 से 21 में 4 साल में आपको जो ट्रेनिंग मिलेगा, दैट इज वर्ल्ड क्लास। हम तो इस तरह से देखते हैं इसको, आपका जो ट्रेनिंग मिलेगा वो वर्ल्ड क्लास ट्रेनिंग है एक्चुअली। और आप अगर 25% में आ जाते हैं तो आपको ले लेंगे। अगर आप नहीं भी आते हैं 25% में, आप अगर आज के सो मेनी एजेंसी, जैसे बीएसएफ है, आईटीबीपी है, आसाम राइफल है, ये जितने हमारे एजेंसीज हैं, सारे में वैकेंसीज हैं आप लोगों के लिए, अग्निवीर के लिए, जो 4 साल के बाद आते हैं। और आज के पेपर में ही मेरे ख्याल से है कि बीएसएफ भी बोल दिया कि 10% अग्निवीर के लिए हम दे देंगे। और उसके अलावा या टेल मी, कुछ बोल रहे हैं आप? कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
कुछ डिस्टर्बेंस हो रही है।
नहीं, डिस्टर्बेंस हो रही है। तो ये, और इसके अलावा अगर वहां भी नहीं होता है, ये कॉर्पोरेट्स जो है, कॉर्पोरेट्स, मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था दिल, वो कह रहे हम तो बैठे हैं अग्निवीर के लिए, जो नहीं जाते हैं 4 साल के बाद जो बाहर आ जाएंगे, वी विल गिव देम जॉब, बिकॉज हमको ट्रेनिंग नहीं देना पड़ेगा। ये सबसे बड़ी बात है, ट्रेनिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आप कभी 26 जनवरी का परेड देखे होंगे रिपब्लिक डे में, ये जो जवान हमारे मार्च करके जाते हैं, इनको आप पहले मिल लीजिए, 2-3-4 साल पहले। गांव से आते हैं ज्यादातर, गांव से आते हैं ज्यादातर, ठीक है। ठीक से बोलने, ठीक से चलने में उनको दिक्कत होती है, बट उनको देखिए ऐसा ट्रेनिंग देते हैं आप, उनको देखिए रिपब्लिक डे परेड में जैसे मार्च करके जाते हैं कि वाह वाह क्या ट्रेनिंग है, कितना अच्छा बना देते हैं उनको, आर्ट बन जाते हैं वो, उनके उनका चाल में, उनके बोलने में, उनके रहने में, सहने में, खाने में, सब चीज में इतना फर्क आ जाता है। तो इट इज द ट्रेनिंग विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आपको ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत है हर हाल, किसी भी काम में जाइए, यू आर अगर ट्रेनिंग। और यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, कॉर्पोरेट बोलते हैं ये तो आर्मी में ट्रेन है, इनको तो ले लीजिए स्ट्रेट अवे, आपका जो लेवल है उसी लेवल में आपको नौकरी बाहर मिल जाएगी। अब मिलेंगे, डेफिनेटली मिलेंगे। अभी तो शुरू हुआ, अभी तो फर्स्ट ईयर है अग्निवीर का, 4 साल जाने दीजिए, फिर देखिएगा। मैं तो अभी भी लड़कों को बोलता हूँ अग्निवीर ज्वाइन करो, जो ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं अग्निवीर वो ज्वाइन करो, ज्यादा संख्या में ज्वाइन करो, ट्रेनिंग तो ले लो।
ट्रेनिंग फ्री है, उसके बाद में नौकरी है, उसके बाद में सिविल में चांसेस हैं,
और आपको
तो
पैसे भी तो मिल जाए ना।
हाँ,
अब 17-18 साल, 20-21 साल में अगर आपको 40 लाख मिल जाता है, इट्स नॉट बैड, इट्स नॉट ए स्मॉल अमाउंट ना, वो भी तो है। घर में बैठ के टाइम वेस्ट करने का क्या फायदा है? तो एकदम स्ट्रेट अवे अप्लाई करो, ये सब आता रहता है। अभी अग्निवीर का भी अभी आ रहा है, और रिक्रूटमेंट का, साइट में जाओ, साइट में जाके चेक करके अप्लाई, ऑनलाइन एप्लीकेशन है अग्निवीर का, ऑनलाइन।
मालेंद्र जी हमारे साथ अभी हरीश जी जुड़े हुए हैं
जी।
हरीश जी हमारे एक और सीनियर साइंटिस्ट हैं,
हाँ,
हमारे साथ वेबिनार किया था।
अच्छा।
तो मैंने हरीश जी को खासतौर से इनवाइट किया था, मैंने कहा आप जाइए जरा बच्चों के सामने बात करिए।
बिल्कुल।
तो हरीश जी कुछ आप बात करना चाहेंगे मालविंदर जी से? मालविंदर जी दिल्ली में रहते हैं और रिटायर्ड एयरफोर्स ऑफिसर हैं।
हाँ,
इनको मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया था, तो आपने देखा कि इन्होंने कैसा बढ़िया एक्सप्लेन किया है।
मैंने इनका प्रेजेंटेशन देखा अभी, और जिस तरीके से मुखर्जी साहब एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे, रादर मैं प्रेजेंटेशन देखते समय ये 2 पॉइंट्स सोच रहा था। एक तो जो स्टूडेंट्स ग्रेजुएशन कर रहे हैं इस समय, उसमें से मोस्टली, मतलब मैं 50% से ज्यादा कहूंगा कि वो बिविल्डर्ड रहते हैं, बिकॉज उनको क्लियर नहीं है कि आगे करना क्या है। अच्छा, आर्मी की तरफ ध्यान उनका नहीं जाता है, बिकॉज उनके मन में एक इम्प्रेशन है कि 10th और 12th के बाद ही तुरंत जाना है, उसके बाद। तो ये आपने बड़ा अच्छा बताया कि रादर मैं आर्मी को भी कहूंगा, या जो डिफेंस सर्विसेज के जो ऑफिसर्स है या जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, यूनिवर्सिटीज कॉलेजेस में काफी ज्यादा इसको पॉपुलर बनाए। अभी भी स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं उनको क्लियरिटी नहीं है।
बिल्कुल, यू आर राइट।
हरीश जी, मालवेंदु जी इंटरेस्टेड हैं, अगर कुछ कॉलेजेस के साथ टाई अप होगा तो मालवेंदु जी विल कम एंड गिव द एक्सप्लेनेशन।
बिल्कुल,
आई थिंक इसको हम लोग प्रमोट कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, हम लोग इसको प्रमोट करेंगे।
यूनिवर्सिटीज ऑलरेडी कोर्स कराती हैं, जैसे एमिटी यूनिवर्सिटी है, चाहे नोएडा में है, चाहे लखनऊ में है, वो बाकायदा 15 डेज का कैंप कराते हैं मनेसर में, आर्मी के लिए।
अच्छा,
बट ये पॉपुलर करना है, दैट इज नंबर 1।
बिल्कुल।
सेकंड जो मैंने देखा, हम लोग 3 हफ्ते पहले कैरियर काउंसलिंग पर बात कर रहे थे, कैरियर एंड हैप्पीनेस पर बात कर रहे थे। अभी मैं स्टूडेंट्स को कहूंगा, मतलब आपकी तरफ से, कि अगर आप किसी भी सब्जेक्ट की पढ़ाई करो, आर्मी, एयरफोर्स और नेवी में हर सब्जेक्ट के लिए, हर स्ट्रीम के लिए मैक्सिमम स्कोप है, दैट इज नंबर 1। मेरा शर्त खाली 2 ही है, तो अपने सब्जेक्ट में एक्सेल होना है, एक्सेलेंट होना है, इट इज फर्स्ट रिक्वायरमेंट।
बिल्कुल।
एंड सेकंड, बाय नेचर आपको एंटरप्रेन्योर होना है, मतलब जो काम करो वो दिल से करो।
बिल्कुल।
और ये 2 रिक्वायरमेंट है। तो आई कैन गारंटी ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आर्मी का आदमी नहीं हूं, बट आर्मी के साथ काम किया है मैंने।
हाँ, ठीक है।
इवन आप हैंडीकैप्ड भी हो तो भी आपके लिए जगह है वहां।
करेक्ट, बिल्कुल, यू आर राइट, एब्सोल्युटली, एब्सोल्युटली राइट।
तो जो हमारी जो ये जनरेशन है वो खाली नौकरी ना सोचे, वो सोचे मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है,
करेक्ट,
और वो करते ही आ जाएगा जॉब में इसको।
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल,
तो आई
बहुत
थिंक
अच्छा बोला आपने,
बहुत
बहुत ही
बढ़िया
अच्छा,
मुझे लगा।
बहुत अच्छा बोला आपने, बोला भी बड़ा अच्छा आपने।
चलिए, और कोई
हाँ,
पार्टिसिपेंट अगर कोई सवाल है तो बताएं।
ऋषिराज कुछ बोल रहे हैं?
ऋषिराज कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं?
नो सर।
अच्छा,
अच्छा,
ओके।
कोई और? सुधांशु जी, सुमिता सिंह, वीरेन ठक्कर, कविता शर्मा।
इनफैक्ट एक चीज जो अभी डिस्कस नहीं हुआ, हालांकि इन बच्चों को जरूरत नहीं है, बट मैं जस्ट मुझे याद आ रहा है तो बता दूं मैं कि इवन आर्मी, एयरफोर्स या नेवी से लोग सीनियर लेवल पे इवन रिसर्च के लिए चले जाते हैं डेपुटेशन पर,
जाते हैं,
DRDO की लैब्स में।
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल,
हाँ, तो वो सब भी स्कोप है, वो भी
बिल्कुल,
discuss
बिल्कुल,
होता है।
स्कोप तो बहुत है एक्चुअली। अब
बहुत
इनसे
स्कोप है।
ये सब नहीं बोला, ये तो सीनियर लेवल का है। मैं
हाँ,
अभी
सीनियर लेवल का है। मतलब मुझे याद है कि मैं एडमिरल मोहन थे
हाँ,
DRDO में,
हमारे भी जान पहचान है एयरफोर्स के जो गए,
हाँ,
DRDO में
उनके
गए
साथ
हैं।
मिल करके हम लोगों ने त्रिशूल मिसाइल के लिए कुछ फ्यूज पर काम किया था।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट, यू आर राइट,
तो
एब्सोल्युटली।
ये एकदम ट्रांसफर होता रहता है सिविलियन
HAL
और
में चले जाते हैं, DRDO में चले जाते हैं, इसरो में गए थे कुछ बंदे डिप्यूटेशन में। हाँ, जाते रहते हैं, जाते रहते हैं। स्मार्ट ऑफिसर जो हैं, बढ़िया हैं, टेक्निकल ऑफिसर्स, वो उनके लिए काफी अपॉर्चुनिटी है।
यस,
अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत है। वेरी गुड।
चलिए,
हेलो सर।
तो
हेलो सर।
हाँ, बोलो।
सर कहते थे अभी हम डिप्लोमा कर रहे हैं, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियर थे, तो ये करने के बाद क्या हम तो आर्मी में कुछ बेनिफिट तो मिल देता है कि हाँ डायरेक्ट कुछ इसमें ज्वाइनिंग थे तो मैं
डिप्लोमा का मुझे चेक करना पड़ेगा, डिग्री का तो है, बट मेरे ख्याल से डिप्लोमा करने के लिए 10+2 के बाद अपॉर्चुनिटी होना चाहिए आर्मी में। आर्मी में होना चाहिए। आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर, आप एक बार वेबसाइट जाके देख लेना, अभी देख लेना, आज ही देख लेना जाके। मेरे ख्याल से है डिप्लोमा में जाके एज ए
एयरमैन वगैरह की रिक्वायरमेंट रहती है ना,
हाँ,
जो
एयरमैन होगा रहता है, डिप्लोमा तो रहता है, क्योंकि मैकेनिकल यूनिट है,
करेक्ट।
का व्हीकल ट्रांसपोर्ट यूनिट है, वहां पे लगते हैं, इनको मैकेनिक्स लगते हैं, वो लगते हैं। एक बार चेक कर लेंगे, मेरे ख्याल से होना चाहिए,
उसका
बट एक बार
रिक्रूटमेंट
वेबसाइट
प्रोसेस
जाके
देखना
देख।
पड़ेगा।
हाँ, वो थोड़ा सा डिटेल में और है, बट उसको जाके वेबसाइट में देख लोगे तो मिल जाएगा। ठीक है।
ऋषिराज, आप वेबसाइट देखिए, और फिर अगर कोई चीज समझनी हो तो आप फोन करके बात कर लीजिएगा।
बिल्कुल, 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 एनी टाइम,
थैंक यू सर।
एनी टाइम, एनी टाइम।
और कोई, एनीवन एल्स? चलिए सर, मेरे ख्याल में नाउ देयर इज नो क्वेश्चन,
ओके,
so let us finish it. We
Okay.
are really thankful to Malvind Mukherjee for taking so much time and guiding the people. मैं तो ये सोच रहा था कि अगर मालविंदु जी से मेरी मुलाकात मेरी जवानी के दिनों में हो गई तो शायद मैं भी आर्मी ऑफिसर हो जाता।
ये भी अच्छा आपने कंक्लूजन दिया।
हाँ, लेकिन नहीं, क्योंकि गाइडेंस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, गाइडेंस इज एक्चुअली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल,
जब तक पता नहीं चलेगा क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं,
बिल्कुल,
तब तक आप कहाँ पर खोजेंगे जाकर के।
बिल्कुल।
तो सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
Okay, thank you.
टच एंड कोई
yeah,
डाउट
yeah.
होगा तो बच्चे आपको
Definitely.
कांटेक्ट करेंगे,
Thank
ठीक है
you.
ना?
Okay,
थैंक यू सर,
yeah,
थैंक यू सर,
थैंक यू मुखर्जी साहब, थैंक यू,
Thank you.
हाँ।
थैंक यू सर।